Welcome everyone to Tips Tuesday. We've got a special guest here today. I'm Laura Rubenstein here with Rosemary O'Neill and Christian. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Christian Smolanovich, and I do the marketing locally here in Nashville, Tennessee. And
Yes, you do it for whom?
for Vibrance Family Chiropractic, among quite a few other businesses in the area as well.
Awesome. How did you get started in that?
It was actually something that I've always liked when I was a teenager, probably about 14 in high school. I was really interested in marketing, and it was really funny because I was like, nervous about college and doing all the things that you have to do to get into marketing. I actually worked for a very small company as customer service starting out. But then I took advantage of them being so small that everyone needed a second job because that's how, small businesses work. You have more than one shoe to fill. So what ended up happening is I started doing their Facebook, Instagram, and it just grew from there. I mean, it's a learning experience, but I got in really early.
That's awesome. And so you've done some really good work with Instagram, with YouTube, with other things. But I noticed when I went into the chiropractor, I was visiting my sister in Nashville. She recommended Vibrance, and I met you, and there were signs up about doing Instagram. And I went there and I'm like, whoa, you got 11,000, almost 12,000 followers for a local business. That's huge. So I said, tell me your secret. Would you be willing to share a few things that you started out with and how you grew it?
Of course. So like everybody else, we first rode the wave of Facebook because Facebook was just something that was great because it had a lot of organic and it just had a lot of upside locally. And what happened with Facebook is the organic side started kind of, going downhill and we needed an out. So Instagram was doing some really big things and we decided to go ahead and jump all of our, office visits, just things that we offer locally. And it's a learning curve. I think first and foremost, what anyone needs to know about the secret sauce is you got to start. And that's something that people don't do is they don't have an Instagram, they don't have a Facebook, and they're kind of nervous about putting themselves out there. You need to do it and you grow exponentially by doing so. I mean, you learn a lot just by kind of using your videos to see more about yourself.
Are you guys putting any money behind boosting posts or paid ads, or is this
Certainly.
really organic?
So initially, Facebook, we did a lot of organic. We didn't really need to put a lot of money into it. We probably should have because it would have been, an exponential push. But it was just doing so well that we were having so many patients that it wasn't a need yet. But now we are definitely having a budget specifically for Facebook, specifically for Instagram, and we're actually going to be doing a lot more with YouTube and putting money into that. You can do a lot organically, but you can do even more with, pushing some money behind ads and posts.
Where would you say someone just starting out, brand new Instagram account should start organically, and at what point should they bring in some ads?
Well, it depends on what your marketing budget is. Me personally, I think that if you're to put a marketing budget, even a small one, that kind of gets you started and gets the ball rolling. When you have this like new thing where there's nobody on it, it's just you, maybe a couple friends, family, and that's where it starts. The issue is Facebook and Instagram is only showing 10% of your followers right now. So it used to be you could see, everything that your followers, it would be, they see what you're posting and vice versa. But now it's about 10% is what they're saying. So if you have 100 followers, 50 followers, or even 20, you're really only seeing that push to a couple people. So if you push the money, maybe $20, it could be even $5 a day. At one point, we were doing $5 to $10 a day, and we would see a couple patients from that, and that pays for itself. So you got to invest. I think that if you're going to invest in your business, you really need to invest on the marketing side. You can put up to 10, 20% of your actual budget into marketing, and it comes really easy on social media. It really does.
Cool. And where would you say you started with your content? I'm guessing your content was key in this that really drew those customers or new clients in, patients in.
It really was. And I think it's like I said, a learning curve, because the issue that I'm seeing right now is if you really look into our earlier posts, like if you were to go all the way down and see what we started at versus where we are now, that was a learning curve. That was trial and error. And overall, the audience is going to tell you what they want. They're going to tell you what performs. They're going to tell you what they like to see, what they don't like to see. But if you're almost at the end, if you look really early on, it's basically just telling people that we're there. And I think that was a big mistake on my part and our business's part, is it was just kind of letting know, hey, come in, see what we can do. Come in, come in, come in. We weren't pushing value. I mean, we really weren't teaching people a lot. we're just showing you our office. We're just showing you what, patients have said. But currently we are actually showing people what we are doing. We're creating value by going and showing people, hey, this is what we can provide you in our office. These are the results that we're seeing. We're in this place, we're in this community, and we want to bring you in. But before, we want to make sure that we're educating the people that are watching our content. And I think that's a big part of why we're doing so well.
That's great. Yeah, I can see. So you've got some people here, just the people in the office, and those were pretty, well, this one got some views. They got views. I mean, you may have boosted them, I guess. And then, but the ones that really started getting people in is where you're actually showing them what you're doing and the value you're giving. I like this elderberry tips and
yeah, we definitely grew into trying to promote health as a whole and what we do in the office. And like I said, give that value, give those reasons for people to come in. We wanted to reach out to, all the different things that we do in our office. Like we deal with headaches, sciatica, back pain, but people don't necessarily know that their problem can be fixed here. And that's what we all do. I mean, every business, every small business, we're problem solvers. That's what we do. We create solutions for people every day, whether it's with a product or a service. So if you don't know that your problem can be solved in our office, then you're not going to come into our office. So it is our job to educate everybody in the area that, hey, if you have these problems, this is how we deal with them and this is how we can fix them. And this is right here, what you're looking at and what you're going to be looking at by scrolling up. This is all organic at this point. So you see there's some of these have over 20,000 views on it. And that's when Instagram was actually doing so well organically. And then as you can see, it kind of tapers off. And that's when we were actually putting more money into it.
Interesting. So it's like they mess with you.
I mean, they really change exactly how we market. We are a slave to our platforms, which is why we want to branch out, because what we did as a mistake is we were initially only on Facebook. We were all organic. So once the organic died, we really took a hit that month. And after that, we will never do that again, because now we're going to be in Instagram, Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Snapchat advertising, Google AdWords, YouTube. So by putting all of us out there on every platform, we really aren't at a loss if one of those platforms doesn't perform. And I think that's a key thing, is you don't want to really have one thing or one business that you're getting all your business from.
Are you doing anything currently? You mentioned that you had customers walk in the door based on something. Are you doing custom URLs or things like that so that you can do that end-to-end tracking of, we did this on Instagram and then 3 customers came in? How are you handling that?
So we handle it in office, among other analytics. So Facebook and Instagram, the great thing about them is they can tell you and all the leads that come from there. So you'll see how much you paid, how many people as far as leads, and how many people are actually coming in. So they break it down. So if you haven't advertised on Instagram or Facebook, it is far superior than regular media, such as, magazines or TV, because you're just branding at that point and you don't necessarily know who's coming in from what unless you're tallying it in the office. And I do think it is important to know where your people are coming in, because then you could put in more money in those avenues. And if you're putting $1,000 into TV ads or radio and nobody comes in, you're just throwing that money away. So I think measuring and having your analytics on point is so imperative to getting, your marketing on point.
One thing I know you do is, like, Fridays is your day to film.
Yes.
Right? And you see patients, but they have to agree to be filmed. Is that right? That is brilliant. So you have somebody, and you work there more than just Fridays, or?
Yeah, I work there usually around 3 days a week.
Okay.
And I'm in the office, and we do have that Friday. What people do is they think it's too cumbersome to film every day, and I understand that. So if you dedicate one specific time, whether it's mornings on this day, and you kind of go ahead and hit 10 videos, you can use those for a week, maybe even 2 weeks if you know how to edit right. So that's the big thing, is do it all at once, because I know it's so hard to just have this hour or 2 hours every single day. But if you dedicate one day where you're just doing a bunch of content, it really helps out a lot.
Yeah, and it streamlines and it gives you lots of content that you can.
It really does. And you can use your content from one thing to another. And right now we're doing into YouTube, and it's long form. So we're doing 27, 35-minute videos, which is, really long videos. But the great thing is I can edit that down to a 1-minute Instagram video. And think about, if you have 30 minutes to work with, you can make a lot of videos from just one specific piece of content.
Cool.
Are you using a platform to blast out across all these different networks, or are you manually going into each one?
So I used to do it with like Hootsuite and different other platforms that kind of make it all into one. But what I've noticed is I really do like the native platforms because their analytics are much more on par. So by going into one specific thing, I can focus, hey, I'm doing Facebook and Instagram right now, and I can go through all the analytics and I can be more, focused. I noticed when I had Hootsuite, it was just kind of like a once and done, and I didn't give the attention specific to each one of those things. So if I was on Hootsuite, I'd press one button and it'd be the same content across the board, as opposed to Instagram and YouTube are way different. Instagram is really quick things. It's a picture. It's just a moment in time. But YouTube, I'm telling a story. I'm doing an episode of TV on YouTube. So I think that each platform deserves different content and different edits.
So you've got Dr. Snap and Crackle on YouTube. Love
Yes.
that name. That's great for a chiropractor. And you recently started doing it more extensively. I'm looking at your channel right now. In fact, I'll share it, the videos in the last month or so, right?
So we really haven't been posting until about 3 weeks ago was our first like, okay, we're going to start pushing. As you can see, the videos on the third line is right when we started in the past 3 weeks. And one of the videos is at 32,000, which is awesome. And ever since we saw that video start kind of taking momentum, we realized there's a lot of opportunity. And it's funny because one video can really make your channel stand out because we've already had 4 patients from that one specific video. And that was 3 weeks ago. So we're seeing that if we do this consistently for 6 months, you can imagine how many patients will trickle in from that platform alone. And it's free. It's great. I mean, we've had 1,000 followers in the last 2 weeks. We've had 60,000 views in the last 7 days. So you're starting to see if you put out certain content, people are going to see it and people are going to want to make the drive because that's what's separating you from a different doctor.
And you're using the YouTube ads to get those initial likes, or?
No, this is all organic. We have not paid a dime into YouTube yet.
Wow. And this topic about the woman in heels
Yes.
gets cracked. It really just somehow resonated.
We think that a big part of it was the fact that it's 27 minutes long and we go in from the exam, we go into every little detail of what is going on with this woman's body. And it's really showing the amount of time that we put into our patients. And we have patients that come in here that have other doctors that they're in and out within 5 minutes. So if I see this video that's 30 minutes long and I'm understanding what goes into a proper diagnosis, a proper adjustment, and all the time that goes into it, we really, like you said, it resonated with a lot of people. And we've already seen people come from, one was actually from out of country. That was the most, I mean, we don't know if it was happenstance that he was coming here, but he made the trip to Nashville and he was all the way from Europe. And it was amazing. He's like, I saw your stuff on YouTube. He reached out, he scheduled an appointment, and that was 2 months ago. And he came in a week ago.
That's awesome.
I noticed, is humor a strategy you're using? Like I noticed a lot of your Instagram and on YouTube, it's very shareable, meme-like content. Are you looking at trying to get people to share it based on that as a strategy?
One of the biggest strategies that I like to do, and something that some businesses don't do, is not all of your content it doesn't pertain to everybody. You want something where we want content that even if you aren't interested in chiropractic or don't necessarily like chiropractic, you still might watch the video and you still might share the video. And I think that's a key component because everyone likes memes, everyone likes a laugh, everyone likes to be entertained. So if you can kind of connect that piece, you actually might get into other audiences that you might not, have gone into yet.
And we've got a question here from Rob Adams. Thanks for being with us, Rob. He says, the different platforms are watching for unique content. As I understand it, Facebook, maybe others, will reduce your viewer audience unless you're paying for ads. Would you agree with that?
I definitely think that there is a little bit of, I don't want to say foul play, but I definitely think that business pages get less views on purpose unless they're just on fire as far as, the audience is just showing that this video is performing better. Ever since we've switched from a public profile to a business profile, we've definitely seen a hit. And I've actually done some testing on a personal page that's completely separate from our business. And then our business, same tag, same everything, same content, and the personal page performed better. So I definitely think there is some back-end things that Facebook is doing. And I understand they're running a business. They need to make money. I don't pay for Facebook publicly. So yeah, I do think that they're definitely holding some content back based on it being a business. I definitely do.
Yeah, the business pages are not getting the visibility. I think they're pretty upfront about it. It is a
Mhm.
pay to play game on Facebook in particular. Um, and do they reduce your viewership if you aren't using ads, and do organic, and do they
I
increase
don't
it?
necessarily think specifically if you aren't paying, because we pay quite a bit on Facebook, and we see that our non-paid doesn't go very far unless we do. So I don't necessarily think it's between those two things. I just think that if you're a business and they know you're a business, you're not going to get the viewership that you once had,
Right.
because you could go all organic. With my previous position in a different job, we were getting 10 million organic on some of the memes, some of the posts. There is nothing like that right now. Even if you're a big
Nothing.
page, you're just not seeing that with businesses. You're just really not.
Yep. So you got to use the combo, you got to use the great content, and you got to be consistent is what I'm getting. And you got to do the trial and error. You got to find
Yes.
out what your market really likes. Yeah.
Every business is different, as we all know. And every business has something to highlight, something that everyone wants to see, whether you're a jeweler, whether you're selling products or a service. There's always something interesting about different businesses. I mean, I've seen different businesses that are cleaning out dryer vents, and how, something so simple that you really wouldn't think of being entertaining. I've seen those videos with over 1 million views. So every single little niche of a business has something interesting, whether it's a jeweler making some beautiful, it's amazing what you can put on, and it just hits on fire. And I really think that a plumber could do it. I think lawn care, auto detailing. I think there's a lot of service businesses that aren't really on the YouTube, the Facebook game. I think there's a lot to be said about that.
So have you used Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups at all?
Definitely use Facebook groups. It was one of the biggest driving factors of the original organic pushes. Facebook has definitely gone away with letting you slide on those groups with a business. Your posts don't really go as far in groups, even as a personal page. Now, LinkedIn has so much upside right now that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. LinkedIn in general is such an amazing thing because you can go business to business. I can target a specific business. I can target a person who works at a specific business. I'm the VP of marketing of this company. I really want to get in with that guy. I can market to all of those people in that company. And I think that's something there's a lot of upside, and there's a lot of organic in LinkedIn right now. So that is definitely something to take advantage of.
One question about budget. You said starting with $5 a day or $20. What do you find works really great for your work?
So what people do is, I think that they put too much money into ads. And when you put too much money into ads, you're kind of doing guesswork unless you're just an amazing copywriter and amazing content. But what we do is we let the audience decide what would be a better ad. So we have 10 posts, say we boost the top performing 5. So we just put in $5 a day, $3, whatever we want to put in. And then we go into, okay, how well did those boosted posts perform? Now we have the top 3 performers. And we noticed now I can go into, this video did really well with 25 to 33-year-old females. Guess what? That's my new ad for 25 to 33 females. I use that video. I use great copy that pertains to that demographic, and bam, you have an amazing performing ad. They chose it. They literally tell you what they want, and then you give it to them. Then you put a little deal or whatever you want to do for your business. And now you have an actual tried and true, instead of guessing and putting money into it. Now I know that this ad is going to perform with that demographic.
Do you mix up you said basically a call to action. You put a little,
Definitely.
what are
Definitely.
some of the things that worked really well for the office?
Honesty. I know that goes a lot, really far in today's society, but I think that if you just really boil it down to what would make you want to come in, and what do you know about your office, what sets you apart. One of the biggest things that we get in our office is, I should have came in sooner. That was something that has always been said by new patients. Like, I've been watching you for 3 months, but for some reason, this last video, it connected with me and I had to come in. Now, I started an ad and I put the copy, the top thing in quotations was, I should have come in sooner. That was one of the biggest performing things that we had, because I think it resonated. Hey, somebody has seen this for a while, and this girl who came in from an Instagram ad, that's me too. I've been looking, but I haven't made the decision. That was the cross the finish line kind of copyright that we saw.
Cool. And then do you put like offers in there, special deals?
So it depends what we're doing. Right now, we do have special deals for people that film. We're kind of pushing that as of the last, week. So you definitely want to get a little bit out of, if you're doing a deal, you definitely want to see if you can kind of ride that wave of getting something for your business. We're getting some filming done and we're getting a new patient. So it's kind of, hey, they get to save money and we get content. It's kind of a mutual nice deal. But for anyone, deals that you do in the office, even if it's not on Facebook, you could do the same deal that you do in the office, but on Facebook. And make sure you mention this ad. I've seen a big mistake with businesses that say, hey, we're having a week-long sale for Facebook, but then a regular person who would have paid full price walks in the door and they get that same exclusive deal. So you're losing money that you never would have lost. So mention Instagram or mention Facebook. That way you can tally where they're from and give them the appropriate, discount.
What do you do in office to do the reverse, get people from the office to engage with you online?
So honestly, as of recently, a majority of our patients have been online. So it's kind of great because they want to be featured. So it makes it easier. If they saw us on Instagram, they feature us. But we do little small specials here and there. If they film with us for regular patients, if they refer, because obviously referrals are one of the best things that you can do in a business, because one, it shows you that you're doing your job correctly. Also, they tend to be better patients. They know what they're coming into. They probably know what they're going to pay. And they have just their friend going, ooh, your business is so great. So you already have this kind of person that wants to come in. They're excited to come in. So you really want to capitalize on the people, not only externally, but internally. If you can master both, your business is going to go insane. And we're just kind of capitalizing on the external. And now we're really pushing internal as well.
So are there signs in your office?
Yes.
Are there, what do the signs say?
So we have signs, but the biggest one, and I think a lot of businesses don't utilize, is we have a TV in our office. We have people that are waiting in the waiting room. Well, guess what you can put on that TV? You can put on original content. You can let people know that you're having specials. Hey, so you can make this little video even on your phone. We started off making videos with our phones. We have Dr. Clark. We're going, hey, we do this special. If you film with us, we can give you this discount or your friend's referral. They're sitting and waiting. Usually they're on their phone, but the TV is always going to be there. They're bored. They're watching your TV. So you can sell products on that TV. Hey, do you guys know that we have this product in the office? And if you order by Friday, you get a discount. I think utilizing in-office marketing, even small things like signs, your TV, and original content, they've actually paid off way more than I initially had thought, and we should have been doing that sooner.
Powerful, really
Very
powerful.
Well, I'm calling BS for all the service businesses and brick and mortars that I've heard moaning about, oh, we're too boring. We can't do this stuff. I'm afraid of digital. I'm afraid to experiment. Go talk to Christian.
I definitely think that people are too afraid to put themselves out there. Initially I was. So before I made videos, and especially for businesses and being in that, but you know what? You're your biggest critic generally, and people are pretty nice. I mean, obviously there's people that are mean on the internet, but they're mean in real life. So put yourself out there and you're going to connect with people that you never thought you would have. And one of the biggest moments was when Dr. Clark said, a guy told me he saw me on Instagram, and when he walked in, he felt like he knew me. That is such a powerful thing when somebody who's never been in your office and has only watched you through the lens of Instagram or YouTube, and they feel like they know you and they feel like they're home because they've seen the office. They've seen the adjusting room. They've seen this. So it's really powerful that you can have a person who knows nothing about you, but kind of knows everything about you. It's awesome.
It is awesome. I love what you've done. You're inspiring. You've inspired many already through this live stream, which we're live streaming through Zoom to Facebook. We'll put this up as an Instagram live, as an Instagram TV, obviously not a live because it's not live right now on Instagram. And I'm going to put this up on YouTube and start seeing how we can get, because you gave so much value. Thank you so much, Christian, for your insights. And Rob Adams is even saying many business people tell them that they have prospects who come to them years after watching them on Facebook or Instagram, and he thinks this is great advice that you've given today. So thank you for spending a few moments with us. I know you have lots of marketing to go and do. So we do this every Tuesday here at Transform Today Inc. on Facebook, and we'd love your support there. And any questions you have, we'd love to cover them. Rosemary, anything you want to leave us with today?
I'm inspired. I'm ready to go. I'm taking mental notes and I'm going to follow the Christian way. So we'll see.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I really enjoyed talking with you, and it's nice to kind of reflect on actually what I'm doing, because sometimes you just do and you don't really reflect on what you do and what you don't do.
Great. Well, thanks for sharing. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for having me.